तो हेलो दोस्तों, आज है हमारा डे 4 और आज थोड़ा मैं कल लेट से सोया तो क्लासेस मिस कर दी मैंने। शायद एंटीना की क्लास थी और इमेज प्रोसेसिंग की। खैर, मेरे पास कुछ अच्छी चीज़ें हैं आज बताने को। आज मैं पढ़ रहा था, एक इम्पॉर्टेंट सब्जेक्ट है, अगर आपको LSI important topic I should say. If you want to go into LSI design, we call it clock domain crossing. So explaining it very briefly, I would say that in a system of chip, you might have different components uh, who work with different who work with clocks with different frequencies, and they might also need to interact with one another. So we need to ensure that data or whatever interaction is happening between these modules which are working with clocks at different frequencies, it gets done in the right way. Otherwise, there is potential for either loss of data or duplication of data, data corruption, and even burning your chips, which might happen due to uh, uh, during the transition where something is somewhere between 0 and 1 for a fraction of second. So both PMOS and NMOS kind of are working, and it leads to a high current flowing, and it may burn your chips. Similarly, loss of data happens if you are if there is a module which is working at a higher clock frequency, then there is a module which is working at a lower clock frequency. So this slower one will sample the data at a slower frequency. So by the time this is able to like send two data points, let's say this one's frequency is twice of this one's. So by the time it sends two data points, it will only capture one. So that is loss of data. And what if the scenario is opposite? This one is sending data, the slower one, to this one, and its frequency is still twice. So this one, when it will send one data, it would have sampled two times. So it means the data which this one sent once will be there twice. So that is replication of data. And data corruption happens when I read about it, I'm forgetting. Um, there's a possibility of data corruption, and there is also the possibility of data incoherence, which happens uh, when let's say there is a element here, there is an element here, and there is an element here. So like three elements, two of these and one here in between of these three paths, right? One here, one here, one here, one here, and let's say these two say zeros and they say one. So our connected path should only have one value, either all zeros or all ones, but it is not happening. So that is data incoherence, right? And data corruption, I'm not able to remember the exact scenario when it happens, but uh, I think it happens when, let me think. So yes, I kind of forgot, guys, and I had to go through my notes to get to the answer why data corruption happens. Excuse me. I think I haven't read till that point where they talk about data corruption and what causes that. And yeah, so the concepts of setup time and hold time has also been covered today by me. Basically, setup time is the minimum amount of time before the clock edge, if it is an edge triggered circuit, when the input to that circuit should stop changing. So it is like, let's say if you have a clock edge here, and this is towards this is a lower time instant. So like use your signal to this edge triggered circuit should stop changing at this time instant only, this much time before this edge of the clock. This is called setup time. Similarly, if this is the edge, like the input should remain same at least till this amount of time. This is called hold time, right? So these are important. There are formulas as well, and then there is slack. Slack is basically, let's say if you have a chip and there are so and there is a clock, and then there is a clock tree as well. So which is network around the circuit, around the chip, in which by which you are actually taking the clock signal to all the different modules which are working on the same clock, and all the different modules are uh, parts of the circuit which are working using the same clock with same frequency. They form a clock domain. So a group of circuits which work on a particular clock are called are are like lead are a part of a particular clock domain. Like with the frequency f2, if there is another group of circuit, they'll call another clock domain. Okay, and hence the name clock domain crossing, because we are going from clock domain 1 to clock domain 2 with different frequencies. We need to ensure that things are in place. Okay, so yeah, that's what I read mostly. And one important thing I wanted to talk about is, and I'll share you the details, this PDF which I was reading with. So this is from a person. I'll just take the name and I'll send you the link as well. This is just a second. Okay. So this comes from a person whose LinkedIn is Amredil M. I don't know if you can see this. Yeah, here. I'll send you the link on the in the video description or something. Okay, and this is really good actually. The other important thing I wanted to talk about is that I realized that I've been living a life very dreadfully, I should say, uh, specifically about the decisions I make. I realize that I am kind of subconsciously controlled by what other people think about me, and I think that I weigh in their opinions and beliefs and their perceptions about myself a lot. So, and I let their opinions affect my decision a little too much. So this YouTube channel serves also as a way to expose myself to a wider audience, and to think less about what people think and what will they think about my hairs or my look or what I say or what I speak, to develop a kind of thick skin. Like very recently, I befriended a person where I was interning, and she actually had this. She actually was into AI agent and stuff, and she had gone through this entire cycle of making a product, selling a product, and things like that. And after she had told the entire story of how she went about it and all of that. She told us that uh, if there's a couple of things she wants us to remember, it was that develop a thick skin and be ready to absorb, and don't let people's curse words and abuses get to your heart, and continue doing what you want to do in the long run. So this YouTube channel is a glaring reminder to both myself and to the world that I'll no longer let the opinions or the preconceived notions or the perceptions of others shape my reality after a certain degree. And I won't let my intrusive thoughts there. Yeah. So peace out. I think that's enough. And yeah, happy Raksha Bandhan. Bye bye. Shabba Khair, Shubhratri. Good night. I think I'll learn to say this phrase in a couple more languages. Yeah. French, what do you say? So yeah. Bye bye. Good night. By the way, for people who are not watching from India, I think I already spoke a lot in Hindi, but so Raksha Bandhan is a festival in which ladies tie their brothers like this sacred thread, which has some kinds of gemstones kind of things, and they are tied on their head, on the brother's wrist, which is symbolic of uh, commit the brother's commitment towards sister's safety and just yeah, supporting her in every way possible. Yeah, that's Raksha Bandhan in modern terms, I guess. Uh, yeah. So yeah, again, Shubh Ratri, Shabak hai. Bye bye.